Hello, hello! We are back with DTM Mini Series round number 2 at the Red Bull Ring. Today, last week, round 1 at Vantage. Today, it's off to Austria and we'll be racing at the famous Red Bull Ring. So we are a couple of minutes away from the qualifying session itself. Qualifying then will be 10 minutes. And after that we have a 60-minute race. That is right. Let's jump into the lobby. Have a look. The lobby settings. Bear with me for a second. Well, everybody. And we are switching to the lobby. Yeah, not the lobby settings, body settings. Oh, on every time when I try to do something multitasking, it's not good. Setting up qualifying 10 minutes. We have late morning weather with sunny conditions for the qualifying. For the race itself, it will be afternoon and a bit of cloudy, sunny mix, whatever. So yeah, waiting for the drivers to check in, and we can start that session. Also, the drivers will be starting on 25 liters of initial fuel for those 10 minutes, so they get a lighter car. Regulations for this one: racing softs and racing mediums are available for the drivers for the race and the qualifying. Usually it will be just the soft tires for the drivers. At least we saw that last week at Brands Hatch. So I guess we will be seeing the same at the Red Bull Ring for the race. There's a mandatory pit stop. There's a pit stop window, race minute 20 and 40, where you have to come in and change your tires. All right. So we're starting soon. We're still missing a couple of drivers. So maybe they can join for the race. Qualifying session itself. So need to wait for one driver is always not kicked in. So on AE can do it. I know it. Just press that little green thingy on button. Haha. Here we go. All right, let's go. 10 minutes of qualifying for round number 2 at the Red Bull Ring. Starting now. As we see for qualifying, if it's not wet, and soft tires will be the weapon of choice, of course, for the weather itself. So we will be using a real-life weather forecast. We will get it as close as possible with the in-game weather slots. So for today, forecast in Austria. at the Red Bull Ring was sunny so that's why it's just a sunny race. But if we get to a race track that can have wet weather and real life forecast will have rain, then we might also have rain for the race or the qualifying. So this is the setup for this series. See the drivers on their outlap trying to find the gap somewhere. With this Luxy, our championship leader after round number 1. Stuck in traffic early, alright. Probably not ideal if you want to go for a clean lap. And then we go with Lazi, reserve driver in the Ford Mustang today. And in good old passion tradition, we go on board for the first flying lap, approaching turn number 1. Avoid the track limits on the outside. It was on the edge, I reckon. Okay, no penalty. We continue the run up towards turn number 3. So just after the 100 brake into the uphill. Slow right-hander, power out. Oh, first gear, second gear, third gear now. Approaching the downhill, braking into turn number 4. Just before the 50. Yeah, a bit early for my liking, but I don't know. Out of turn number 4 into the technical infield section, turn 5, 6 and 7. Now approaching of a monster, that car. And then we are approaching the final turns of the track. Turn 9, don't run too wide on the exit. Turn 10, the same. And then we'll see the first reference lap time, the 1:36. I think this will get down to sub 1:30. Equinox with its 30.0. Rick with a 37, Neighbor 31.7 versus Luxy 31.8. That warm-up lap in traffic maybe cost him a little bit. Mr. Guacho 42. Oops, that's a bit of a slow lap to start with. Stu penalty already, and that first lap didn't count as well. So we see a couple of drivers still have room for improvement. 10 minutes in total for the race. And we didn't see Evok in that McLaren 31.7 and Ovich 31.2 in that BMW Husky. In the second Audi R8 a 30.7. That's close with Rick for now. Equinox going for a new run by the looks. Can lastly improve on that 30.6. Let's see for the next split. Oh, we missed it. Oh, we have to wait until he crosses the line. See, could be an improvement. 29 incoming. Pretty sure. No. It was close. 30.2 stays in P2 for now. 36, next improvement for Rick in the Ferrari. Husky with some slip, also improving, 30.3, so Crit getting closer and closer. Nay, bother with 31.1, P5 currently, Ovich didn't improve, stays at a 0.7, Evok invalidated in that lap. Luxy doing some slower laps, maybe he's burning a little bit of fuel now, and then goes for a hot lap towards the end of the qualifying session. It's the winner 32.8, got a lap time in. And a 33.3 for the American driver in that second Ferrari. Should be also some time to improve. Normally find some rear tires. Let's wait for the second year up by quite a margin, nearly 2 seconds. Should move him further up the order. Just keep it clean. Slugs with a 30.0 up to P2 for now, and here comes Mr. Guacho with a 31 incoming. 31.4, that's P9 currently. So currently we still have Equinox in the Audi R8 provisional pole. 30.007, a 30.087 for Fluxy in the BMW, and a 30.2 for Blasi in the Ford Mustang. 3 minutes to go. Let's see drivers. Husky said that's probably enough, parks it in the pits or waits for a final shot at it. A couple of drivers on a flying lap. Was close for track limits and 3/10 purple for Rick. That's a mighty lap so far. Can he string it together on those final 2 turns? Oh, that's wide. Maybe a penalty, I don't know. Ran a bit too wide. Was still okay. Pixel says yes. So it's a 30.1 P3 for our Australian friend. That was on the edge for getting track limits. Equinox on an outlap again. There's Luxy on an outlap 2. What about Blasi in P4? Purple 1.5 now. Less than 2 minutes to go in that session. Can we see an upset? That Mustang getting at least up to the front row. It has power, yes. And Red Bull Ring. You need power, acceleration, but also a little bit of handling in the middle sector. Wait for the next sector split time to appear. Oh, bit of a wiggle. 2 tenths up. On a good lap, on an improvement. Pretty sure that Mustang doesn't like the middle sector. This should be now better. I think final turn just get the power down, not noticing too much. That looks decent for the exit. 29.97 volt provisional pole for Blasi in the Mustang. So, final minute, 40 seconds to go. In fact, can Equinox in the Audi strike back? He is on a good lap. Wasn't purple for now, but definitely tuned it up on his own personal best. So his final turn could be very well suited for that Audi. And now the run into the line. He will get one more lap, even if he goes the line. They say 29.77. Oh, takes provisional pole. What about Sluxy in that BMW? Fresh, soft tires. It's the final shot for the championship leader, also improving on his own personal best. So front row is still possible. Can it also be pole position? A clean run through those final 2 turns is needed. Cut the inside. now the run. Which improved 8:29.9. That's front row for now. Yeah, Blasey won't be improving. Second row start for the Mustang. Rick in P4. Mayweather P5 Husky with a penalty in P6. And Mr. Guacho P7, Stu P8. Ewok is still on a lap. Can improve. What's it gonna be? 30.8 to beat. No. Which finished the qualifying as well at 31.1. So here, close grid out, and he could have got that final lap. So yes, the pole position already claimed, and gets another 29.87. That would also be enough to get a pole. All right. So that's the qualifying. We take the screenshot of my record as well. Set the grid for the race. Multitasking again is good. All right, so and race and load our race settings. So Weber joined qualifying, but he can start from the back of the course. Set the grid once everyone is checked in. Weber in the Porsche, if I'm not mistaken. We have another brand represented on the grid. There is BMW, Audi, Ford, Mercedes AMG, Ferrari, McLaren, and that Porsche. All right. Oh, we have a on pole. Sluxy joins him on the front. Blasey correct. For second row start, Mayweather P5. Husky, that is correct. And Stu, 7P8. Look. 10 and double check. Weber will start in that for 11. All right. So let's rewind the people. So formation lap. It's 100 miles per hour. Again, there is, I think, oh no, still don't know where, like my, this one, 0 miles per hour, so not what I wanted to do. It's 100 per hour, 160 kph. Then double dial use 60 miles per hour for H. Pole X inside. Fine. Left hit stop window between race minute 20 and 40 with change. Didn't look like tire. Right, good luck. Race. Sorry. Sorry. Almost. I know, I had one job. Alright, so let's start the race. Have fun, everybody. Good luck. So, bring up this overlay and go. Racing for 60 minutes at Red Bull. So we have no racing on that first lap, formation lap, it will be single file. And then once we cross the penalty zone, we go double file. And we're off for our formation lap. And looks like everyone is using the soft tire, at least for the stars. So tire wear and fuel consumption is set to ×1 in the game, so make it as realistic as possible. So that's why soft should be the strategy to go. I think we have Barcelona as well coming up, and this is usually quite hard on tires, so we might see the medium tire at that racetrack, but Red Bull Ring usually not like a tire shredding circuit. So that's why I see the racing softs also using the in-game BoP, but the drivers can adjust the downforce settings, so rear and front aero settings can be adjusted to their likings. Yeah. This one. Let's see if we get a formation that's looking nice so far. So Equinox taking the inside line, that's the right hand side. Traxi on the outside. Lastly, Rick on that slip and throw. Husky, hey brother. Everyone now trying to close up the gap, and now once we reach the finish line, it is green, and we're off for the... Whoa, someone darted off very early. Looks like Equinox keeping the position for now. Rick gets a position. Lastly, down to P4, Husky, P5, Mayweather around the outside with the better run out of turn number 1. Husky P6, 2 in a McLaren P7 with some work show in P8. Evo P9, first time heading into turn number 3, uphill we go. We'll keep it clean, it looks like. Come on, get lucky back with it. So Mayborn chasing Ophiolovich. Evo next heavy braking zone downhill into turn number 4. We see Lastly on the inside of Rick, side by side versus Lastly versus Rick, Ford versus Ferrari. Oh, interesting. Ford with the better end for now. Into the technical infield section, turns 5, 6 and 7. Now it's still a pretty close grid at the start. Weber still ends at the rear of this one, which trying to stay with Evo. And you see the first penalties appearing. Little gap is opening up at the front. Equinox half a second to Slugsy and a second to Vladimir. Still has Rick close behind, half a second after the first lap of racing. Maybe little gap to Husky with a penalty as well. That won't help him. Stu tries to get the run out of turn 1, gets a good one. Goes directly to the inside line. The better run into turn number 3. Maybe can Husky hold it around the outside. Go side by side. Clean, nice racing, and it's Stu gets the better exit. Still has track position. The advantage for the braking zone into turn number 4. Downhill we go, but with an acceleration of that Audi R8, they can still go side by side through turn number 4. And Husky hangs it around the outside. Great move, touches a little bit of a travel, loses some speed, and has to defend that position number from the second Ferrari on the track. He has to serve that penalty now, so he will drop a position or maybe 2. Now coming into the penalty zone, and that half a second will be costly. The Ferrari gets past. Also there's Ovic stays behind just for now. Ewok and Weber still close. Back to our front battle, and let's see, Equinox half a second, still that gap to Slugsy, and Vladimir somewhat still has a little bit of a slipstream, I reckon, so we go to Vladimir's perspective. 1.1 he will gain probably in that Mustang now, that uphill part. And then heavy braking zone into turn number 3. Will he get the acceleration and the traction? Not too bad. Slugsy a little bit of an off track. And gets a penalty for that. So what's the gap to Vladimir? Nearly a second. So he might just get away with it when serving the penalty to stay in front of the Italian driver, but he might risk of losing that slipstream to Equinox in the Audi. So let's keep an eye on those gaps. 1.1, 1.2, needs to have a good final turn. Gets a decent run, stays within the slipstream for now. Vladimir as well, so 1 second gaps between the top 4 each. Then it's Leibadr in P5 already, 2.2 seconds. Husky P6, and then something happened. So Weber up to P7. Evo P8. Stu 9. Mr. Guacho in P10 and Ovic P11. So those gaps suddenly went up. The grid was separated by 9 seconds. Last round. Oh, we have a yellow flag. Who had a spinneroonie? That was Stu coming out of turn number 1. So probably did the Igor Fraga line. Oh, not that crazy still. A touch that sausage curb and then a little bit of a steering angle going on, and that sends the McLaren driver into the wall of the exit of the pit. Damage is not permanent, but yeah, a big gap now for Stu. Still a long way to go. See the timer on the screen as well. 52 minutes to go. And the top 3 building a little bit of a gap now. So less than 2 seconds separating the top 3. And the gap to Rick 2 seconds, other 2 seconds to Neighbor. Husky cannot keep up with the pace at the moment. Needs to watch his mirrors probably, because here is Webern trying to get into that slipstream range. 1.6 at the moment, so just outside of it, but doesn't need much to get into that one. Then we have the bigger gaps between the cars for now. Evo in P8, best McLaren driver at the moment. Ferrari versus BMW. Battle for P9 and P10. Have a look at the lap times. 1:44 for both drivers. Maybe there was contact in between the two and they waited for each other. And that could explain that nearly 7-second gap to P8 currently. And Evo needs to get his head down now and put in some consistent lap times and see what is possible for that race. And some update at the front, you see it as well. Equinox with a half-second penalty will serve it this lap. This could be an early opportunity, maybe even before the penalty zone for Sluxy. Will he make a move into turn number 3? No, stays behind for now. Doesn't need to take any risks. Currently, he knows if he stays roughly within half of a second, then he will gain that penalty once the leader crosses the penalty zone. Equinox should stay in P2 then, with a gap to Blasi with a second. But this will bring the top 3 even closer together. See, half a second, so Equinox trying to open up that gap a little bit. Now, serving the penalty, Sluxy should get the run around the outside, just side by side, nearly into turn 9. So that half a second, just a 6/10 maybe, what you lose. So, like a quite nice penalty zone in terms of GT7 standards. There are way worse penalty zones around those tracks. But yeah, the top 3 now separated by 1.2 seconds. Let's get back to the onboard. See, a second now before the braking zone coming out of it. It's still 1.2. It will be interesting to see the development on the top 3. And in P4, Rick and Ney. So Ney slowly closing that gap. Now 3 seconds. The gap between Husky and Webern stays roughly between 2 seconds and 1.5. A little mistake from the Finnish driver. Still there, and one little mistake, and the fight is on for P6. I'll just keep it close. Also Ewok with some good laps, closing that gap. The 2 drivers, P9 and P10, also not much separating them at the moment. Which still has that slipstream range. It's just Ovich! No, we caught it live on tape. that BMW, that rear snapped, and on that final turn, and the commentator's curse once again strikes with me, Sariovic. It's nearly 10 seconds now, that gap to P9 and under 10 to Stu, so he's Stu with a good 31.7. What happened? Classy dropped down to P5. Don't think we'll see that. No, it already happened. I don't see any damage. We definitely have now a different race situation, but Slugsy has a 2-second lead suddenly at Equinox E2. Let's have a look at those lap times. 1.4. Maybe there was a little bit of contact heading into turn number 3. It looks with 30.4. 2.4 seconds now the gap, and we are 5 minutes away from the pit window to open. So this means Rick and the Ferrari only running on that podium position, P3. They bother bringing that gap down 2.3, and Lassie 39.3. Yeah, that's those 8 seconds time loss and 2 positions. 5. Can the Ford Mustang driver go for some moves? Oh, you close that gap today. Let's go actually to this camera. AMG versus Ford, both FR cars sitting probably in the same boat through the infield sector. Don't get that rotation like in the MR cars. And lastly, struggling a little bit on the exit. They, with a good run out of the final turn, 1.7 to P3, 1.6. I'm losing a little bit of time now. But definitely gaining overall on P3. Plus another penalty happened going a bit too wide at the final turn. Husky versus Webern, still the same gap. And Evok, look at that, Evok joined the back of Webern and gets a massive run out of turn 3 and has already the inside line for turn number 4. Now here we go, we see another side-by-side wheel-to-wheel action. Webern backing out of it, giving plenty of room to Evok, and this gives Husky a little bit of a breather, 2.6 now. Moment, what's happening at the back of the grid? Which with his personal best, 31.3, gained some time on P9 again. It was roughly 10 seconds, down to 7.4. Stu also keeping it consistent, no 32s. Slugsy on lap 10 with the fastest lap of the race so far. There's also an extra point for the fastest lap, and for qualifying the top 3 will earn some bonus points as well. 3, 2 and 1 for the first 3 positions for qualifying, 1 extra point for the fastest lap, and then the points for the finishing positions, which I don't remember correctly, but I think it's something like 25, 22, 18, and so on, roughly in that area. So 3 seconds now for Sluxy. Rick staying in P3, keeping that gap very stable to May. May has to defend now. Blasey is back even after serving that half-second penalty. The Mustang is close. We see a move into turn number 3. I don't think Blasey is close enough to go for a move into turn number 1. But might be looking at a run out of turn number 1. Carry the speed 610. Yeah, gets a better exit down to 5, 4.5, 4, 3.5. Is it enough? I think they might just defend it. He does indeed. So I'm gonna prepare my little message. Already, so bear with me for that little text overlay. 5 seconds away from the and so now drivers can decide to make a pit stop. So they have 20 minutes from now on to do that pit stop and change their tires. We missed the move. So Blasey probably into turn number 4. Blasey up to May, rather than to P5. Husky versus Evo. 2 seconds. Yeah, where's Weber? Weber was quite close. A little off track maybe. Just lost a couple of seconds, and it is the second Ferrari, Mr. Huracan in P9, just 1.5 seconds to P8, and gets a good run, gets the toe uphill. Which also gaining on P9, and it was a little mistake again for Stu, 38. Another 7 seconds-ish lost on that last lap round. Let's watch this one. Mid-tech battle, P8, P9, under a second. To correct the initial input, so they turned a little bit too early, lost a little bit of momentum. Missed that apex, lost another bend. Then again, a great exit out of turn number 1. The Ferrari in the lower gears, very good on traction and acceleration. Gains 3/10 alone between turn 1 and turn number 3. So again, this should be advantage for the Ferrari. Oh, something happened. I was a bit confused what happened, and it looks like a disconnect. What happened? yeah, something weird suddenly got damaged. That was a weird moment, suddenly no power and the car went. Was it another commentator's curse moment? Oh no. And let's get back to the race. Nearly 4 seconds between Slugsy and Equinox. P1, P2. Rick in P3. Blasey is on a mission and trying to get back to that P3, that final podium spot. It's 1.7 at the moment, the gap to May Butter. 2 seconds after the overtake. 2 laps to go. The next close battle is between the Husky and Enoch Jr. P6, P7. Audi versus McLaren. Having a bit of a closer look at the tires, so still looking okay. So they can probably still stretch that first stint to more than 30 minutes of racing to get some fresh softs for the second half, and I don't know, maybe that overcut might be an interesting choice to go for. Which with very, very consistent lap times since that mistake. Lapping into 31s. Yeah, 6 seconds to Weber, who is having a bit of up and down lap times, and Stu as well. So go to battle for P3, that's heating up now, less than a second. Rick touches the traveler on the outside. A little moment for the Ferrari driver. And he sees that big Mustang front in the rear view mirrors now. 7 tenths and going down. Two very different cars in the Crew 3 GT3 category. Gran Turismo Sport and in real life as well. So a quite heavy boaty Ford Mustang FR versus that very nimble Ferrari 458 MR. Rick struggled on the exit of turn number 1. Doesn't defend the inside line, so we should see Blasey diving down the inside into turn 3. Makes that move. He just, I think, got his nose in front. Defends his position now into turn number 4. Leaves that inside line open now. Will Rick go for a move? No, stays behind for now. When nearly loses the rear. This is Ferrari territory usually. Get way better turn in. And indeed brings that gap down to 3.5 again. Gets a little bit of an understeer moment. Didn't clip that apex. Good run for Blasey though. Uses all of the curb to get a smooth run. Half a second. Bit of a slide coming out of turn number 1. So not ideal once again, and Blasi can open up the gap to be safe before the braking zone. Should be able to open up that gap now. 7, 8, 10th. Neighbor consistent lap times. 5 seconds the gap for now to P4. Husky and Evoque. And then we see the first driver in the pits for the pit stop with the tire change. So everyone else still running on their starting tire compound. Tire was still looking okay for most of the drivers, from what I can tell from the graphics. Here that rear left might be the problematic tire for Equinox in the Audi. I wouldn't be surprised to see a pit stop. Oh, we also see the next driver in, that's the McLaren. Usually one of the best cars on tires, and the Porsche with Webern coming in as well to do the service. So will the leader pit this lap, or will they go for a long burst stint and then have the best tires towards the end? You could argue with less fuel and the fresh tires, the chance of getting the fastest lap is higher. Slugsy staying out without Equinox going for the undercut. Yeah, into the pits it is. What about Blasi? Going? No. Into the pit lane. Rick is staying out. Rocket tire is looking still okay, I'd say. What about Mayweather? Also going for at least one more lap. Second Audi R8 also staying out. So then we have the drivers that pitted: Evoque, Webern, Ovic, and Stu. And in P6 it is Blasi. So top 5 haven't pitted yet. They still have roughly 8 minutes before the pit window closes. It's a lie to you because Equinox came out in 4th. It's on the outback to crash some tires. It's Slugsy, Rick, Neighbor, and the Husky still running on those softs. And Slugsy stayed out. But yeah, he had that 4-second gap, so he's still doing mid to high 130s. Very consistent lap times. Okay, Rick is in. What about Ney? Also going for an overcut strategy. Outlap completed, and we have a look at the gap. 26.5 seconds. This would tell me that it's 22 second pit loss with the tire change. This leaves us with 3 drivers with the perform the mandatory pit stop. That's Sluxy in P1, Neighbor in P2, and Husky in P3. The rest is on fresh, soft tires. Equinox in P3, Laden in P5, Rick P6 currently. Evo in 7th, Weber, Hanovich, P8, P9, and Stu in P10. So very Sluxy into the pit sequence and a very aggressive pit entry now. 26 minutes to go. Will we see Neighbor? Oh, not pitting, staying out. Husky losing that position due to the penalty. Will he pit? Yep, decides to head into the pit lane now as well. Right. So Neighbor in P2, the only driver to perform the pit stop. Sluxy kept roughly that 4-second gap to Equinox. That was a good comeback drive after that mistake. We didn't catch on stream, but we saw it on the lap time. 8-9 seconds lost on that lap. Rick versus Neighbor. Will this get close? Neighbor definitely going for that I have the best tires towards the end of that race strategy. So less than 5 minutes to go, and he's indicating that he will pit this lap. A nice use of the indicators. This looks like everyone now did their pit stop during the given pit window. Sluxy flying off his out lap 4.6 seconds. Now the cab is pushing. Lazy back into P3, Rick in P4, and Neighbor are now changing the tires. New set of soft tires. It is. And what's the gap to Rick? It's 8 seconds. Now Ney needs to push. Nearly 9 seconds. It's not the easiest task, let's put it that way, but it's also not like impossible. Anyways, Husky and Ewok get close. Ewok briefly got that slipstream range, and Ovich versus Weyburn run into turn number 3, a bit of contact. Still side by side coming out of turn number 3. Weyburn keeping that position for now. Ovich looking, showing his nose, not going for the move. Weyburn keeps the position, gets down to the apex. A little bit of an understeery entry. 6, 7 tenths, maybe a little bit of dirty air. Then again, Weber not the best run through the chicane. Gives Ovich once again the opportunity to close the gap and get into that half-second range. Had to delay that throttle a little bit out of the final turn, and it's a time lost. Still half a second, so a neat run out of turn number 1 early into the power. Half a second, gets the better exit. And that straight need to be longer for like 20 meters. Goes for an alternative line. Still there, still there. Less than 4/10. The gap is big enough for Webern for now. Still pitting again. Interesting. See the turns 5, 6, 7, 8 advantage for the Porsche. It looks like Stu is retiring the car for today. This could be now the moment. To gain a bit more out of turn number 1. So again, different approach into turn 3. Better rotation for the Porsche. Weber keeps that position for now. Evo lost a little bit of time to Husky, 3 seconds roughly. What about the gap between Ney and Ulrich? Oh wait, Mayweather 10 seconds. So on that second stint as well, with some great consistent pace. Plus maintaining that Mustang P3 is for now. Soxy with a mighty fastest lap twice in a row now, 29.9 race pace. 30.0 for Equinox. Since the pit stop, Slugsy gained 1.5 seconds so far. The pit stop window has officially closed, but everyone performed their pit stop and changed tires. So nothing to report from race control. What happened to Ovic? Suddenly the 10-second gap again, 141.4. An off track somewhere, I reckon. That's good news for Weber. No immediate pressure, so it looks like this is the closest gap currently between two drivers. Either Getty McLaren and a Husky in the Audi R8. Run for the McLaren. Get an on-board lap. Down to 2.2. Interesting to see that little downtip towards me of our rotation. I don't think it was the fastest way to do it. went too deep into the turn, so lost a little bit of time. Gaps still roughly at 2.5 between the two. Then we go to our race leader Sluxy once again. A dominant performance so far after doing some easy laps to start that race with, not taking any risks. And once he got past Equinox after Equinox served the penalty, Sluxy decided it's time to check out and opened up the gap lap by lap. Now we are roughly at 6 seconds. It's also improvement. The fastest lap on lap 27, 29.8. Bit of a deja vu. Last week as well, Sluxy opened up that gap during the race and then managed that gap towards the end of the race. Even if he had like a perfect 360 at Brands Hatch on that second stint of the race, perfectly executed. Lost 2 seconds, but hey, it's in the Discord, in the channel. Great stuff, yeah. Equinox keeping it also very, very consistent. A low 1 minute 30s in the Audi R8. And once again, we have a Ford Mustang represented in the race. Last week at Brands Hatch we had Couch Racer driving the Mustang. Today it is Chico Blasi. On the lap times at 30.2 personal best. That is not too far off the pace, the leaders. Still reckon the handling is quite a bit of a challenge in that one. I think I saw a pre-race in-game chat message like, that car is a boat. So still it's you don't see that car very often being used, so shout out to the drivers for trying to race in that car. Yeah, also in real life we have the actual Ford Mustang GT3 car driving two drivers in the DTM. So that's why it was added as well here in the game. Here for our series, even if it's not that model of course, but that goes basically for all of our cars. So that BMW in the game, it's the M6, so we are using the M4 Evo 2 update already in DTM, and that actually that car, that Evo, that might be still covered, that it's officially retired from racing. It's still being entered by a privateer's team to get like the nostalgia back, but no official support from Audi anymore for that car. And the Ferrari, yeah, what shall we say? 458 Italia in the game, the 296 GT3 in real life, also quite old, that one. The AMG is sold. It's the Evo model, but the Evo 2 is running in real life. But it's kind of okay, I reckon. So the Audi, we saw that. McLaren, yeah, 650S in the game, 720S in real life for the GT3s. Pretty sure also there's an Evo version of that 720 running. The Porsche, this is in the game the GTE version of the 911. So we have also a different GT3 model in real life, but that looks quite close as well. And then the BMW again. It's a bit of a throwback livery, I think, to the car that Timo Glock used, like that livery. He used to drive that bright yellow BMW with Deutsche Post on it. There's not that much happening between the drivers. I think this was still the closest gap at some point, Husky and Evo. But that gap went up to 6.6 seconds. So the gap between Neymar and Rick also still stable. Neymar now pushing 30, high 30s. With a 31 second last time around. Still has nearly 9 seconds as a buffer. So nothing to worry for now. The final 10 minutes of the race. Seems like everything is settled for now. 5.5 seconds for Fluxy managing that gap. You know, not pushing too hard anymore. I think he secured that fastest lap with that 29.878. Oh, Equinox with a 30.0. Just 2 tenths off that fastest lap. He's still trying, he's still pushing. Purple, first sector, alright. That Audi R8 not being known for like having the most top end, and that first sector is pretty much a power sector. Interesting to see purple. And that middle sector should be Audi territory, usually. Tenth purple. What's the final sector gonna look like? I can't remember. This is where Equinox lost the time. Usually, it's still up, so you can get down to a 29 on this lap. It's a 30.0. Ah, that's close. So that I think it's like Equinox is pushing, it wants to get to that 29, and it was so close. But yeah, the final 2 turns probably not the strongest sector for that Audi. Still great to see. I mean, 2 30.0s in a row. Equinox pushing. Last, he was also pushing on lap 33 and 30.1. Let's have a look at the other lap times. High 30s for Rick. purple for a second for Neymar. A 30.3 fastest lap. He was getting into the zone. Then looks like that lap 34 he got a penalty. A second between two laps. Usually you don't see that much of fluctuation. But 30.3. Neymar will be pleased with that. Let's see if he can improve that even more. So in purple sector 1. A bit down on his personal, still mid 30. Could be happening. Husky also managing that gap by the looks. Under 6 minutes to go. Evo gained some time. Under 5 seconds. After a somewhat mistake at lap 29, 35. Mayburn versus Jovic pushing like that. It's not over, I reckon. It is not over. So lap 26, lost 10 seconds. Now just 2.5 behind. Mayburn with 5 minutes to go. Should be 4 laps still to go for the drivers. Whoa, and out of nowhere, Sluxy with a 29.823 improves that fastest lap. And Equinox is still not below that 130. He was trying very, very hard to do that. Would be interesting to know the optimums for Equinox. If that 29.8 was like on his radar. We saw him in purple a couple of times. It's Luxy opening up that gap again. Is he going for another improvement on that lap? Wait for the split. 10th down. Won't be staying with Luxy then. You keep an eye on Weber versus Jovic. 2.3. So gap stays roughly the same. That last lap looks like Weber found another gear, personal best last time round. This is what you need to do now. Just over 3 minutes to go. Show your opponent that I can still improve on those lap times. Husky versus Evo. Under 3 seconds. Maybe Husky was also managing a bit too much. That gap. Evo closed that gap and I think another second gained. Weber was pushing too hard on lap 38. Made a mistake. 20 seconds to gap to Husky. Nothing to worry about. The gap to Rick 12 seconds now. We'll stay with Sluxy and have a look at the race timer to see. It should be 2 laps to go for Sluxy. Yeah. I did another 29 on the previous lap, so final 2 minutes now, and for the end of lap 38, so we'll run until lap 40 So penultimate lap started for Sluxy. Here comes Equinox to start that penultimate lap as well. Will Blasi get 2 lap? No, 40. This will be his final lap of the race. Before Rick starting that final lap now as well. Mayweather comes around the final 2 turns with 1 minute 5 seconds roughly when he crosses the line to start his final lap. 2.6 between Husky and Evo. It's also 1 more lap to go for those 2 drivers. I think it's now or never for Evo. With roughly 40 seconds to crosses the line, final lap. Mayborn versus Ovic, 6th, 10th. They're also starting their final lap of the race now, half a second between the 2. Volovic get the run this time. Turn 3 gets a good run out of the first turn, a little wiggle, but that gap already down to 3.5, 10. This could be the move. Will Weber go defensive this time? No, leaving that inside line open. Ovic not going for it. Going for a late apex again. Well, Blasi finished the race in P3. Or the top 2 on that final lap. And then stay with Rick P4. Great result for Ferrari. Mayweather in the AMG brings home a P5. The Husky managed to keep that gap to Evoc at 2.6, 2.7 seconds. So 2 more turns to go for the 34 to finish in P6. Evoc P7 and Mayborn versus Ovic. Less than 3:10. Final turn. Don't get a track penalty now. Don't spin it. And Mayborn will keep that position. P8, Ovic P9, and then let's go to Sluxy. Congrats on the 2nd win in a row. And the BMW P1, Equinox P2. Well done, everybody. Let's wait for Aston is still waiting in the pits. We wait for 20 something seconds and so we look at the out lap, the cooldown laps. Sluxy, Equinox and Blasi, our top 3 finishers for today. With P4, Mayweather P5. Race results, as usual for me. Take my screenshots and then go through the results graphics. Sluxy with the victory and the fastest lap of the race. Starting from pole and finishing P2. Blasi in 3. Rick P4 in the Ferrari, Mayweather P5 in Mercedes AMG, the Husky. 2nd Audi R8, best McLaren 7. Webern with a close finish. P8 just in front of Ovic in P9. W. Stu out the car is in P10. and the second Ferrari had a disconnect by the looks, classified in 11. All right, so that's it for round number 2. We will be back next week, round 3 at Monza. High speed racing, example of speed. Also, pretty sure we will see a couple of track limit penalties in those chicanes at Monza. Yeah, so thank you all for watching. Take care, have a good time. See you soon. Love you all. Bye bye.